Literally 20 minutes before yesterday's video went live, we ended up getting the announcement that Call of Duty was actually doing a free promotion in conjunction with Twitch and Twitch Prime, which was rather ironic given the fact that something free launched right before we dove into a rant about the overuse of the MTX model within Black Ops 4, which is not a free-to-play game. So in that sense, the timing yesterday was absolutely impeccable. Now, one free customization bundle does not change any of the fact of what we talked about yesterday, but today we're going to talk about how to get that free Twitch Prime bundle, as well as also a bunch of different stuff on the topic of an upcoming possible event within Black Ops 4. With time dwindling down on the event, we're now past the halfway point and still some decent stuff of major content updates on the horizon. We don't know exactly when these may be, but we might have some things that point towards this. So we're gonna be breaking down all that here in this, but first things first, before we jump into it, how to secure that free customization bundle from Twitch and Twitch Prime. Now, for those of you guys that don't know how Twitch Prime works, we actually had this in World War II as well, a couple of months of free content there for simply just linking your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account, and then once those are connected, linking it to your Call of Duty account as well. So it's a multi-step process, but you end up having the ability to end up getting a bundle of a camo, a uniform, as well as a jump pack. So that comes with a trail as well as parachute that you can use in Blackout. I'll leave the link down there in the description below for you guys to check out, where you can prominently see displayed the customization bundle, plus one that we'll end up seeing in April as well as May. So we're going to end up having two more here with this, not only just this month, but probably the latter portions of April and May we'll be seeing those launch as well. But this is something that it does get a little convoluted. You're gonna have to link a handful of different accounts together. The big key portion for this to even work to begin with is you have to have an Amazon Prime account plus a Twitch account. You can then end up linking those, and once you do that, that's half the process out of the way. But on the other side of the spectrum, you also have to have a Call of Duty account through Activision and CallOfDuty.com, as well as link your Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or Blizzard account with that account as well. Once you link those accounts together, you'll be able to log in on the Twitch Prime loot page, in which that will authorize your Twitch account, which should already be authorized with Amazon Prime, so you can end up getting that Twitch bundle. Then once you're logged in, it will then show you a button in the bottom right saying to click to either log into your Call of Duty accounts, or if you're already logged in and it's already connected, you should have the ability to just claim that bundle. Once you do that, it'll come up with a page that says success, and then you'll be able to claim it in-game. One thing to note is that if you have Black Ops 4 already running, you'll have to restart your game, and then once it boots back up, you'll then be greeted by that first initial redemption page that you end up getting. Quick little shameless plug as well, once you end up having your Twitch Prime bundle secured, you also know that Twitch Prime allows you to subscribe to one Twitch streamer a month for absolutely no cost, allowing you to get that channel's free custom emotes, as well as if they want to go into sub-only chat, you can still keep talking. Also things like member access to game content, expanded chat color options, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff that Twitch Prime does, and oh hey, would you look at that? I stream over on Twitch. So I mean, if you're looking for a channel to come hang out and watch some Call of Duty content, do that every so often. And plus, if you got that free Twitch Prime sub, you know, I mean, I think I got some cool emotes. Regardless, as for what you end up getting fully showcased here with this bundle, jokes aside, the camo itself is actually pretty cool. I actually really like the sort of more matte finish of the camo. It's a purple and white, which are the Twitch colors, and it's got an interesting little design on it. Some weapons definitely look better than others. I was a huge fan of this on the Paladin. It gives a sort of matte white magazine plus scope at some points as well. So it looks pretty cool. It's a standard base camo, though. It's not anything like a reactive camo or a Mastercraft. It doesn't have any phases that it goes through. It's just simply one of those base camos like you'd see with, say, your Carbalicious camo or your Splatter or your Kiss of Death, anything like that. As for the uniform, it's again that same sort of matte white and purple finish. It's not as flashy as the other uniforms, but honestly, I like this one a lot as well. It's something about the color scheme and the sort of just textured finish, not necessarily anything that's glossy or anything like that. Really enjoy how this turns out. As for the jump pack, that's not necessarily something you experience all that much, usually just in the early portions of a Blackout match, or if you gotta make a quick getaway and have to jump off a building, that's something that works as well. But this one's a little more colorful and a little bit more vibrant, in which it looks almost like a ruined version of an emoji, so certainly something funny there as well. But again, for absolutely no cost at all, just simply linking accounts, I don't think you can go wrong with this. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am quite pleased with the free bundle, but no, that doesn't change a single thing about what we talked about yesterday. Just want to clarify that once again. But as for the other topics of discussion here that we want to talk about, dealing with a possible event within Black Ops 4. I don't really want to talk too much on the thought of an MP event or anything like that, because that's still coming at some point. It has to. I mean, the Mini 14, or the Vendetta, I guess as it's now called, is in the game. It's in the Zombies map. It's in the mystery box. And so it's literally in the game playable, but just not on the MP side just yet. Now, one thing that I do find curious, though, as well, is that we haven't seen any change to Blackout. We theorized for the longest time that it would make sense for Alcatraz, or what seemingly is Alcatraz, to make its way over, as well as a nighttime map at that halfway point of Operation Grand Heist. That is, as of Tuesday, that halfway point. We don't have it yet, so where is it? There was a theory going around that Treyarch was progressively adding in more lampposts and street lights and all things like that to allow for illumination across the map as we get ready for a setting sun and a nighttime map. Now, initially, I absolutely loved this idea, but having gone back and checked a lot of these different locations in the map currently and then cross-referencing them with even footage from before Grand Heist began, unfortunately, I think this might be a little bit debunked, or at least in some sense. I'm not saying that more can't be added in, but one thing that I did notice is that a lot of the high traffic areas that I checked ended up having lampposts now, as they did a couple of months ago before Grand Heist even began. So in that sense, that kind of crosses off at least part of that theory. Again, there definitely could be more added in over time and as we gear up towards when this may inevitably drop, but as for that being the sole catalyst for a reason to look out for this event coming, I don't know if we can necessarily say that just yet. One interesting developing part of this story is the fact that earlier today we ended up seeing a playlist called Blackout After Dark go live in a sort of glitched manner. It was locked up, it only had the player count of 40 players, plus the party size was only 1 player per party, even though it had the icons of a quads game mode. And probably visually the most interesting was the fact that it was a 6th featured playlist, whereas it was completely below everything else. You had your menu as it looks right now just moved up, and this Blackout After Dark playlist being the only thing underneath it. So it definitely looked weird, but I think there is some logical explanation here for why that happened. If we quickly jump over to the Call of Duty official Twitter account, you'll end up seeing that earlier today they ended up tweeting, "The best of the best battle it out in Blackout. Watch as the COD World League pros and others drop in tomorrow at 6 p.m. EDT. This also accompanied by the 6-second loop video of the key art for Blackout After Dark. Now that name is exactly the same as what we saw show up in the playlist selection. Now, if I were to break it down for you, I think there's 3 possibilities here for what this playlist actually is doing in Black Ops 4. And here's what I think they are sequentially, so from most likely to least likely. Firstly, I think that it's probably just a dev rule set playlist tested and not meant to go live. And there's definitely hints that this could be something that was not meant to go live and it was a sort of placeholder because that icon on the playlist doesn't match up with the party size. It's a quads icon with a party size of 1, as well as there's only a max of 40 players. So it could be something that's just meant to test the rule sets or anything like that, or it also could be a placeholder dev playlist for, say, a whitelisted playlist group for the pros to jump into. It's very similar to a custom match, but in an online format. So that's something that I think is definitely the most likely out of that. It also could be something where maybe it's a viewable playlist to spectate the pros, or maybe even queue up to fill those lobbies up as if a regular player could jump in this tournament and play against the pros and maybe try and take them out. And then thirdly, the last thing that I think is probably the least likely is that maybe it actually is an unintentional tease, unrelated to the event that is Blackout After Dark with the pros, but instead is its own little playlist for a nighttime Blackout map. I think that's probably the least likely of the 3, but I mean, it's still possible. That's also not to say, though, that I don't think this isn't a direct teaser to something, because it's perfectly timed to see this marketing for Blackout After Dark and teasing a darker nighttime map, getting players thinking about that, because I do think, though, while it's not specifically stated, something else was delayed as a calculated move to keep a secret of some sorts. I'm talking about the PC update for Black Ops 4. PC is actually currently on update 1.14. It seems like there's going to be 1.15 and 1.16 all pushed in together so that those bug fixes that may have been a little less prominent on PC, I didn't hear as many reports of the bugs that people had predating that bug fix update of 1.15 last week. I didn't hear as many complaints on the PC end, so they maybe were all wrapped into one, but the Treyarch PC Twitter account ended up stating that's going to be pushed back and currently slated for April 2nd of a release on that front. So not only then do players get to jump in and experience, say, bare bones and the free weapon crate as well once the second rolls around for Xbox One and PC, but I also think there might be something else hidden in here, because as what every time happens with a PC update that goes live, information is data mined that shouldn't necessarily be public or shouldn't necessarily be seen. That's something that with each individual update, there's more things added to the game that is an indication of progressive builds of stuff coming either in the future or that is already ready to go, but is just timed as a different release date. And so who's to say that we don't have that new POI coming on Tuesday and that new nighttime aesthetic of Blackout coming on Tuesday, but PC didn't get it so that players can't dig that up beforehand, and it's so that it does drop as a specific surprise. I think that's actually something that's quite likely. And also some information for your consideration is that normally PC updates, if they are delayed, have been delayed by about 2 to 3 days. The only times, if my knowledge is correct, the PC has been delayed by an entire week is when there were massive updates. So maybe we're on the right track here at this one, and maybe something is going to drop in relation to not only this event in Blackout, but also maybe even that MP content stream finally with the new Mini 14 Vendetta weapon. That said, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. Certainly some stuff to consider. I wanted to bring you guys some updates on some things I heard that were honestly some cool thoughts, but I don't know if they necessarily pan out in the end. But regardless, wanted to give it all to you. So that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is there anything in particular you'd like to either rebuttal here and maybe present some different information towards, or is there anything that you necessarily agree with? Are you looking forward to the Blackout at night and maybe new POI edition? Whatever it may be, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, MP, Blackout, Zombies. We got you covered, the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. Well, let's head out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.